Hi guys, it's your good friend Countess again, and I'm back with the very first celebrity mystery tarot reading on my channel. So thank you for being here. If you are, I so appreciate all of the support. Man, I've just been like blown away by you guys. Yeah, I've had so many beautiful people get in touch with me, and I've just met so many neat people, uh, just doing this, and it's exciting, it's really exciting, and um, I just feel very grateful for all of you. So tonight we are going to take a look at the suspicious death of Miss Marilyn Monroe, uh, based on a poll that I set up this weekend, choosing four candidates, I guess. It was Marilyn, Michael Jackson, Kurt Cobain, and George Reeves. And, all of them are very, very intriguing, suspicious circumstances kind of readings that I'm sure I will get to eventually. Definitely Michael Jackson. I think that might be the next one, but I kind of want to do one on Brian Jones of the Rolling Stones. I want to see if we can get any answers there, because that was a very suspicious death, and as we know, it was a sort of sacrifice, right? So just kind of want to see about that, I want to explore. So we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of different people I have in mind to do readings on. And so, yeah, tonight we're going to do Miss Monroe. She still is, she was and is one of the most famous sex symbols, ever. She's so iconic, she has her own style, she played the ditzy blonde perfectly, but she was actually a very intelligent woman. And I found a really good website that we're going to just walk through real quick. That explains a few different interesting conspiracy theories surrounding her death. And yeah, I just think we can kind of get the gist of what people say, people have said about her suspicious death, and we'll see if we can find anything in the cards. So let's get into the article, and I will see you on the other side. Bye, guys. All right, guys. So we're going to look at this article. It is from readersdigest.co.uk, and it's Intriguing Mysteries, the Death of Marilyn Monroe. I thought this was a really good article to go through. Did Marilyn Monroe kill herself? There is no doubt that Monroe had been depressed. She had always struggled against the demands of her stardom, and she relied on a regime of psychiatric treatment and drugs to help her cope. She had recently been fired for constant lateness from her latest film for 10th Century Fox, and her many marriages. Her high-profile husbands included baseball legend Joe DiMaggio and playwright Arthur Miller, had all ended in divorce. Pardon me. Yeah, so we're going to get to that. The official story. The official story is that on the evening of August 4th, 1962, Marilyn Monroe telephoned Peter Lawford, the British actor who was also the husband of John F. Kennedy's sister, Pat. And, side note, Billy sings about Peter Lawford in his song Frank Sinatra's Party, kind of, because, Peter Lawford was kind of like a sketchy dude involved with like the mob, and Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin and the Rat Pack and all those guys. He was kind of like a tag along with them. So, where were we? Sorry. Monroe's voice was strangely, okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, Monroe's voice was strangely slurred, and she ended their conversation ominously. Say goodbye to Pat, she told Lawford drowsily. Say goodbye to the president, and say goodbye to yourself, because you're a nice guy. Hours later, the most enduring sex symbol ever to grace the American screen was found dead in her Los Angeles mansion, her graceful body lying face down and naked on her bed. Wow. Eunice Monroe's housekeeper claimed that she noticed a light on in the bedroom at around 3:30 a.m. There you go, guys. 33. Yeah. That is definitely a signal that this was not a self-deletion. I think we all kind of know that. Okay, so troubled, she called Monroe's psychologist, Dr. Ralph Greenson, and her personal physician, Dr. Hyman Engelberg. Greenson arrived around 3:40 and found Monroe's body. When Engelberg arrived a few minutes later, he pronounced her dead. The coroner's report subsequently listed the cause of her death as acute barbiturate poisoning, ingestion of overdose, and probable suicide. A Kennedy connection? But the official version of Monroe's death fails to account for the discrepancies that might indicate murder. Many of the most prominent witnesses involved with the case later cast doubt on their original reports. Some alleged that they were forced to participate in a cover-up and have implied that the cover-up was designed to protect President Kennedy and his brother, Attorney General Robert Kennedy. Speculation that Monroe had an affair with the president had been rampant since May 1962, when Monroe performed her seductive "Happy Birthday" number for him, singing to the president in front of a crowd of 20,000 people at Madison Square Garden. And if you guys ever watched that performance, she looks like she's really out of it. She looks like she is, and kind of sounds a little slurred. I know people think she sounds sexy, and she does, but she's also has a slurred voice, so it's very sad. Okay, so it is now known that Monroe and the president were among overnight guests at Bing Crosby's house in Palm Springs on the same evening and met on several other occasions. That's funny, just another side note tangent. My grandpa, God rest his soul, Bing Crosby is my grandpa's doppelganger, or vice versa. Every time I see Bing Crosby, I see my grandpa, and it is crazy. Anyways, Okay, so it is also speculated that Monroe was involved in an even longer term affair with Robert Kennedy, the president's brother, who may have been trying to distract Monroe from a mutually damaging relationship with the president. Conspiracy theories abound about the Kennedy connection and Monroe's death. Could she have been killed to prevent her from going public with her relationships with two of the leading members of the most prominent political family in America? Was Robert trying to end his affair with Marilyn at the time of her death? A few days before her death, Monroe purportedly told writer Robert Slatzer that if Bobby continued to avoid her, I might just call a press conference and tell them all about it. Ooh, that's not good. In his biography of the deceased star, Slatzer alleged that Bobby had actually visited Monroe on the day she died and spent the night at the home of his brother-in-law, Peter Lawford. But who really knows the truth? Seymour Hersh, while writing the biography, The Dark Side of Camelot, uncovered documents proposing that Bobby had set up a trust fund for Monroe's mother, supposedly to buy Monroe's silence. But after further investigation, the documents were found to be false. Oh, goodness. Now we go to the mafia connection. Monroe's death has also long been tied to the mafia, who had a long and adversarial relationship with the Kennedys. They may have struck out at her to get back at John and Bobby. There exists evidence in the months before her death. Monroe's phone was tapped by both the Justice Department of Robert Kennedy and the agents of the Internal Brotherhood of Teamsters boss, Jimmy Hoffa. Ooh, that's really freaky. Was Monroe really a pawn caught between the country's most powerful criminals and politicians? No one knows, but the medical explanation for her death is full of holes. Who killed Marilyn Monroe? The self-deletion investigation reported that Monroe swallowed one gulp of around 47 Nembutal pills, but her prescription given to her by Dr. Engelberg was only for 25 pills. If Monroe had killed herself by swallowing the pills, the residue from their digestion would have been found in her stomach. They were not. It has been speculated that Monroe died of an injected overdose of drugs, but she had no access to injection barbiturates. The injection would have had come from another source. I'm sorry about these ads, guys. That's I don't know why they have to put them right in the middle of the article. The coroner's report said that there were no puncture marks on Monroe's body, but Dr. Engelberg's bill to her estate showed he had given her an injection the day before her death. That mark should have been clearly visible. Was Marilyn Monroe administered a homicidal injection, which the coroner's report covered up? The answer, again, may never be known. But given Marilyn's complicated connections with so many men in positions of power, a cloud of suspicion may always hang over the events of that August night. What do you think really happened? And she died, I believe it was on August 4th, 1962, I believe. And yeah, that is kind of the gist, even like what I was saying at the beginning. There was no sign of any pills in her system, but there have been, claims of people up and just mysteriously dying, you know, after getting like a prick of something, you know, or yeah, there's ways to slightly prick somebody and then, inject something into them without their knowledge. I mean, that's something that the CIA has done and probably still does do. So, and you cannot see any sort of injection mark in an autopsy. So yeah, some stuff was really sus behind her death, guys, and we are gonna just ask, we're gonna ask what happened to Marilyn. What really happened? We'll see if we can get some energy behind what the real reason was for her death. 3:30 a.m., guys. For those who have the eyes to see, the calling of the Masons right there, guys. So yeah, that's pretty sus, right? Yeah, August 4th, 1962, she died. And yeah, so we're going to get to the table now, guys. And we're going to ask what happened with Marilyn Monroe and her death. What really happened that night? So I will see you guys at the table on the other side. All right, guys. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Welcome back to the table. Welcome to those who are new and those who have been around the block with me a few times. Thank you to all the new subscribers. We're going to have some interesting fun tonight, guys. We're going to ask the cards. We're going to get down to it. After reading that article, all of the Kennedys were, I've deduced from just things that I've heard, they were kind of shifty a little bit, I don't know, all politicians are shifty, right? Am I right? Am I right or am I right? Does the Pope wear a funny hat? Damn skippy he does. So we want to know what in the world happened to Marilyn Monroe, what was really the cause of her death? What was the intention behind her death? Was it really an accident? Was it really, something that she did? We're going to see if we get any court cards that could, kings, even a queen, the empress, we'll see what we can do, or, what cards come out. But if we get court cards again, we'll see what happens. I just want to see if we get any characters on the board like we have done in the past. So again, what happened to Marilyn Monroe? What happened to her on the day that she died? What happened? And so I did deduce the numerology of the day she died, and it reduces to the number 3. 3 is the number, speaking of 3, oh my God. 3 is the number of the Grand Architect. It is the number of the divine. It represents, that just everything reduces back to the number 3. Cycles happen in 3s. Birth, life, death, right? Like something's coming kind of full circle. I don't know, but it's kind of interesting, right? A lot of stuff happens in August, I've noticed too. So What was behind Marilyn's death? All right, guys, I think I'm starting. My gut is tightening. I am just about ready to lay down some cards. Just give me just a second more. Still feel the need to shuffle. Poor Marilyn, man. She got the short end of the stick, that's for sure. All right, so we're going to do this. And we are going to just cut the deck into threes. The number 3, right? And that's going to do it, guys. Let's see what the cards have to say about Marilyn Monroe and her death. Let's go. So we have the King of Cups, or the Knight of Cups reversed. The 5 of Cups reversed. Oh no, the 9 of Swords. The Ace of Wands. Okay, interesting. Very, very interesting. Ace of Wands being, as you can see, the most phallically inspired card. I mean, that's what the wands are, right? But yeah, okay, so let's see what the second row tells us. Oh gosh, guys, the Star reversed. Whoa, whoa. We have the King of Cups reversed. Oh, Lord. Oh, the 10 of Swords reversed under the 9 of Swords. I have never seen that, guys. As above, so below. Oh, wow. Wow. Death reversed. Oh my gosh, guys. That is actually when death is in reverse, it can mean a whole lot of different things. Of like physical death, guys. We hit the jackpot here. Oh my God, I just cannot believe this spread. So this is something that I learned a couple of years ago, is cards that can signal a literal death, that can signify an actual death. And we have a plethora of them, you guys. First off, I mean, we will do the reading. I guess let me do the reading first, and then I will show you the cards that I'm talking about. Okay, so we're going to the Knight. We start with the Knight of Cups reverse, guys. The Knight of Cups, he is considered to be like the Romeo of the tarot deck. When he's in reverse, this shows, it can show archetype wise, a young man, or it can show, you know, somebody who is letting their emotions just run their lives. Like there's a disconnect with reality when he is in reverse. He can't see the forest for the trees. He is just thinking too much with his emotions. Next to it is the 5 of Cups in reverse. So 5 of Cups, when it's in reverse, actually shows a sort of overcoming of an obstacle. You are, when it's in reverse, because the 5s upright usually are an obstacle of some sort in tarot, but when it's in reverse, you are kind of like overcoming something. Okay. This card is a card that can signal death. Okay. we're going to go next to the Nine of Swords, right next door to it. So the Nine of Swords is not a good card at all. It too is another card that signals literal death. So the Nine of Swords, oh God, it is the fears and the anxieties and like the dark existential thoughts that we think about at night. Those kinds of like dreaded thoughts and worries that can keep a person up at night. It's somebody being tortured with these fears and anxieties. Okay, so that's a card. These two cards right here, right next to each other, signal death. Can signal a literal death. Okay, we get to the Ace of Wands. So since we started with the Romeo of the deck and he's like all out of control, the Ace of Wands, guys, like I said, the wands represent sex. They represent the spirit of passion and lust, not emotion. It is lust, and it's all about the carnal, just lust. This is a very sexually charged card. Okay, so what this is telling me is that, I don't know, I would maybe even say this could be Marilyn Monroe represented as the Knight in reverse. I don't know, that's what I'm feeling. We'll go down here to this rope, but as far as I'm like interchanging the gender here because this is just somebody who's like kind of like what the article said, she grew way too attached to Robert F. Kennedy. She thought that they were moving forward, like maybe she was coming out of a sort of depression or something. But there is a sexually charged passion that keeps her up at night, that presents itself as another obstacle, another sort of, the nines represent some like a cycle that's coming to completion, and that's why I find it so uncanny that the Ten of Swords is right underneath the Nine of Swords, next to the card basically of sex, passion, success, lots of fiery stuff going on with the wands. Okay, so when you're we're going to get into this right now with the Star reverse, and in tarot, when you're looking at a spread that deals with actual death, right? You need to look for any cards that could signal illness of some sort. And boy, oh boy, when the Star is in reverse, it can show an illness of some sort is at play. That's why I just in my gut, I deduced that this is Marilyn Monroe, the Knight of Cups reverse, because, sex pot that she was, she could not control her emotions, and she had some sort of illness, whether it's a mental illness, like people say, that she struggled with depression and things like of that nature. I don't know, and the King of Cups right next to it, guys. I feel like he was the obstacle. I feel like this is Robert F. Kennedy, because when the King is in reverse, this too can signal, even to like a greater degree, just like a detachment from emotion and a detachment from reality, just like the Knight of Cups in reverse. There is more apathy in this character as the king, as the more mature, emotional one of the suit. I believe he was the obstacle she was trying to overcome. The star reversed, yeah, definitely signals death or illness. So there you go. These three cards so far, right, are cards that can signal death. That the situation was about her death. Oh my God, my stomach, guys. Oh boy, boy, boy. Okay, so we're going to go to the Ten of Swords in reverse. This will show, and when it's in reverse, since it's a 10 in reverse, it is going to be a bad situation that just continues. It's like a cycle that is just going to keep continuing. It is viciousness. It is sharp words, causing these anxieties, causing this hurt and this despair at night, coming from this dude, okay? And this is, since it's a 10 in reverse, usually 10s upright signal a completion. When it is in reverse, there is no completion in sight. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, so the death card in reverse. Okay, so this is another card that signals death, guys. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then, of course, we have death in reverse, okay? Yes, death can, especially when you're dealing with all of these other cards in the deck, in the spread. This is a signal of literal death as well. I cannot believe this, guys. This is showing me straight up. Wow. So this is a resistant to change. And it's paired with the sex, right? So she, had her sexual prowess, right? She was in control of her sexual image, and she hooked the King of Cups. But he is not in love with her. He just saw her as a nice side dish to have whenever he felt like it, right? But she was not having any of that in reverse, and she did. She, became overly aggressive, overly just inconsolable, basically, because of his apathy, because of his just, he didn't care, it was all about sex. And that's what tells me it's all about sex. And it is a situation that was going to keep continuing if he allowed it. Robert Kennedy had something to do with Marilyn Monroe's death. I mean, this is, like I say, don't take me or my cards literally, but this is the answer, and it's plain to see. We have 5 cards in this 8-card spread that signal that this is about death. This is about a death. Now, I don't know how, it's not showing me how he killed her. It's just showing me that he had, or if he killed her even, but it's showing that he was the cause, or he was the executor of, he had a lot to do with her death, you guys. Oh my fucking God, man. I cannot believe this shit. Now wow. Wow. And we just, okay. So I'm tripping out, guys. I really am. Like, my gut is just like, oh, man, this is just, I cannot believe this. Okay, let's see what else we get. Oh, no. Temperance in reverse. Not good, not good. Okay, so we have the Hierophant. At least the Hierophant's upright this time and not in reverse. Yeah, Two of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so then we'll do one more row, 3. Oh, wow, guys, this is, this is a trip. Okay, the Ace of Swords in reverse, another ace. The Four of Cups. And the Emperor in reverse. How about that, guys? Wasn't I talking about getting the Emperor or the Empress on this reading, you know? Oh my goodness. So let's address the Temperance in reverse. So the Temperance in reverse actually does show something is out of balance. Something is off. There is not, something isn't as it seems with it in reverse. And the Hierophant next to it in the middle. Well, this shows, you know, the Hierophant represents the head of an institution, the head of, the Hierophant is a advisor, a teacher, a leader, you know. It can represent tradition and rules, right? Okay. But again, it's so funny that it's in the middle of another card that shows things are out of balance. Like when the Two of Pentacles is in reverse, it is showing overload. Like there is just too much going on. Things are out of balance, okay? And this could have been like something that has to do with her career too, you know? It's kind of like, or the death that we just discovered came down from some sort of institution and a man who is abusing his power and authority. Okay, but the Ace of Swords in reverse shows there's a block. Somebody has confused thoughts. Something isn't right. Again, something's off here, okay? So that's showing me that something's not right concerning an institution, a man of power. We have the Emperor in reverse, okay? But then we have the Four of Cups down here. And this can kind of tie into the Ace of Swords in reverse. So the Four of Cups can show depression. It can show that you are blind to what is in front of you. You see this, the hand of the divine is trying to give him a cup, and he's sitting here with his arms and legs crossed with his eyes closed. So that is actually what the Ace of Swords in reverse can be too. You cannot see what matters most. You cannot see, again, there's a disconnect from reality. You can't see the forest for the trees, right? Same with the King of Cups. There is some sort of, oh man, there is something like way off. And it has to do with an institution. It has to do with like tradition, with moral values. There is a turning of the eye, turning of the head to the reality of a situation. I mean, that's what I'm seeing. The Emperor in reverse is just shows a tyrannical sort of male it shows an abuse of power and authority, and again, overloaded. Like, I feel like this could have been something to do with her career too. Guys, like, yeah, because the Hierophant's screaming institution, and the Emperor is screaming like somebody who is high up, who abused his power to cause this death that lays behind. I feel like the Emperor reversed and the King of Cups reversed are in cahoots with each other, where the Knight of Cups in reverse is concerned. There is a lot of foul play here, guys. That is what these cards are showing. She was, again, and this is allegedly and in my own opinion and what the cards say, she was deleted. She did not self-delete. She was deleted. That's what I will say. Okay. Wow. The Three of Cups can show, overindulgence and partying and celebration with people. There's the Queen of Swords in reverse. Okay, so we have a queen who, again, is not using her brain. She's not using logic and reason and anything, and she is jumping into this overindulgence in drink or drugs or something, because she's out of balance. She has too much on her plate. She had too much on her plate, way too much on her plate, guys. And so she couldn't think straight as a result of the partying and overindulgences with certain substances. Yeah, the Hangman in reverse, or I'm sorry, not in reverse, upright. And then the Two of Wands reversed, another two, representing duality on the board, right? So the Hangman is a sort of pulling back and waiting for the right time. And that's probably like, I'm not sure how that would tie into the Three of Cups, really. I do see, though, the Two of Wands in reverse is, you're trying to make plans for the future, but you have no control over those plans. In reverse, it is just, yeah. And so, pardon me, with the Queen of Swords above that again, it just shows she is just totally off kilter. She was not in the right frame of mind, you guys. She oh my gosh, I feel like she was drugged. She was drugged, and that's how she died. And somebody executed that death. These cards are showing that, you guys, straight up, no joke. Look at them yourselves. All right, we're going to do one last card, and we're going to see what we get. And we get the Chariot in reverse. Okay, so this basically just shows the end. You cannot move forward, kind of paired with the Hangman, with the Hanged Man. It's like there's no progress forward. There's no change. There's no... It was just the end of the road for Marilyn. I mean, this is what I am seeing. Please, guys, if any of you see something different, let me know. If you feel like certain characters on the on the table represent other things, but with all of the death cards we got on the first bottom spread, setting up the narrative and the characters in this, the King of Cups in reverse, the Emperor in reverse, you guys. Then we have the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Cups. Clouded thinking, clouded judgment. She was drugged, or it was a result of drugs that did cause her demise. But it was not a self-deletion, you guys, not at all. It was foul play to the max, and that is what my cards say, and that is what I will leave this as. Let it be known. I'm done, guys, and I hope you enjoyed this spread. I am gonna have to go digest all of this. This energy is super heavy and sad, you guys. Like, her star burnt out way too soon, and it was because of these insecure, out of control men. Yeah, I mean, this could even be JFK, the emperor, you know, the president. That's something that I just saw too. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about this spread. It straight up says that foul play was at hand. So again, drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think. I had fun with this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, guys.